In this video, I'm sharing a story about Jill Mongine, a pilot's wife who decided to return to school at 48 and found her niche as a dietitian within the aviation community. Jill created her private practice by defining her motivation and not letting people tell her that she was too old to do something new. Hi, I'm Libby Rothschild, creator of Dietitian Boss. Welcome to my channel. My program empowers dietitians and nutritionists just like you to create private practices from scratch using proven processes and social media strategies that work. I'd like to help you get set up and become successful in your own private practice by following the step-by-step Dietitian Boss method. Today, I want to focus on a particular message. It's never too soon or too late to begin. I know because so many dietitians come to me because they've been told that they should give up their dreams of building a private practice or starting anything new. But what people like my client Jill prove time after time is that you don't have to give in to the naysayers of the world. Here's Jill's story. When Jill decided to go back to school to become a dietitian, the first thing people told her was that it was going to be hard. Well, Jill likes a challenge. After all, she's an Ironman triathlete with 17 marathons under her belt. When someone tells Jill that it's too hard and that she can't do it, well, that just inspires her to actually get the job done. Jill's motto is, if you're thinking about something, if it's popped into your head, then you probably just need to do it. Because days, they're gonna pass and 10 years go by and you can't get that time back. You just have to go for it. You've got to try. And if you fail, well, you can always try something else. People told Jill she's never gonna get an internship because she had no experience working in a kitchen. Jill recalls a story of working for 8 hours one day, flipping fried chicken and mac and cheese, and she was truly exhausted. She said the experience nearly killed her. She said she just wanted to be done. So when people told her that she wasn't going to be able to become a dietitian, she broke through that barrier and she proved them wrong. She started her first practice helping people with running, but after some time she felt drawn to helping a different type of ideal client. One day her husband was sitting on the couch when his retina spontaneously detached. At 55 years old, he had undiagnosed celiac disease. Jill thought, oh my gosh, I need to be working with pilots like my husband because for the past 15 years, I've been able to help them be healthy. So on April 1st in 2020, Jill decided to launch an aviation business right at the beginning of COVID. Jill planned to build her private practice to work with pilots who are furloughed or they're on a leave of absence, but she knew that these pilots still needed guidance. So she reached out to me and started the Dietitian Boss program. Her original plan was to have her husband be the one to give her referrals, but he is now disabled. Yet Jill knows that she's the perfect person to help her ideal client because together, she and her husband, they've been through it all. As a pilot's wife, Jill understands layovers and crash pads and all the acronyms. So when pilots come through her virtual door, she's right up to speed to help them. She also has her husband to bounce ideas off of. Jill's actually living with her ideal client. What more could anyone ask for? When Jill first reached out for help, she was posting random things on social, but she didn't really know what to speak about, and that didn't really seem to be getting her anywhere. Now that she follows the Dietitian Boss method and uses her weekly check-in calls with ideal clients as her content, Jill knows that if one person has a certain question or series of questions, that other people are going to have those same series of questions too. And that strategy's paid off big time because she now creates content based on what her clients tell her that they need, and Jill's able to reach more ideal clients. She's constantly receiving messages from potential clients that want to work with Jill because her content is clear, it's connecting, and it's resonating with exactly who Jill wants to serve. One of the most important things about the Dietitian Boss method that helped Jill create her own success story is that it helped her see that helping pilots is perfectly aligned with her desire to make a true difference in people's lives. She singled out and committed to her ideal client group, and now that's making a huge difference in her community that she cares about. That doesn't mean that this process was completely easy. In fact, Jill reports that defining her ideal client was originally more challenging than she had expected. On my podcast, she reflects on how hard initially it was to get clear with what pilots need from her services, even though her ideal client was sitting right there in front of her on the couch. She still needed some guidance, support, and accountability. But when Jill committed to consistently following the Dietitian Boss method, she learned how to dig deeper and to get really clear on who to help. The next step included translating her message into her content and posting regularly. The result, within 5 weeks of getting started, Jill was able to make $1,250. Jill says, "They're getting my messages. They're direct messaging me. They're sending comments about things that I could do better in my posts. They're all with me now. I'm following the Dietitian Boss method. I'm in stories every single day, even if I don't wear makeup. Everybody knows what I look like. I just show up. I'm like, hey, day 4 in my pajamas, I'm at home again." Jill's showing up as her own authentic self, and that both attracts and connects her to her audience. It doesn't happen overnight, but the more she showed up and stayed committed to her messaging, the better it worked. She's created a feedback loop where the more that she gives to her clients, the more they give back to her. Her messages have evolved over time and continue to evolve, and that's really exciting. And also, Jill isn't in private practice just for the money. She's given back in all sorts of ways and has plans to make enough money to pay off her brother's house, and that's a really great motivator. Jill is a great role model and inspiration to anyone who's been told you won't be able to do it. If you've ever heard messages like that, I want to help you prove them wrong. You too can learn how to identify your niche and become clear with who you want to serve. Then, by focusing your message and using my proven Dietitian Boss strategies, attracting and retaining clients can become second nature to you. In my next video, I want to tell you about my client Megan. When I met Megan, she already had an established insurance practice, but she hadn't learned how to attract cash-paying clients by marketing herself on social media effectively. Check out this video and get inspired, and then you can learn how she's made back her investment from my program.